Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP.
Excuse me.
And boy, do we have one for you guys today.
Give me a second. We'll go get my Sprite.
Today's review is about a movie that we recently saw called The Whale. We watched it on Christmas night. Me, the VP, and the First Lady. We went up to the AMC theater up in Springfield. Shout out to the AMC theater because
Guys, you're cool. We love you.
it's a great establishment. If you ever have a chance to visit an AMC theater, I suggest that you do. We got to sit in full leather reclining chairs, guys, in the theater. So with cup holders, the only drawback was that unfortunately at this time their heater was broken, so it was a tad bit chilly in the movie theater.
Yeah.
So The Whale is a 2022 film that debuted on December 9th in the United States. It had been released a few months previously at the Venice Film Festival, and that's where it made its worldwide debut, so to speak. It's directed by Darren Aronofsky. It stars Brendan Fraser and
Sadie
Sink, and there's a few others, but those are your two main characters in this film.
You may know Brendan Fraser from the Mummy franchise, and also George of the Jungle.
Now
he was in that one as well.
Uh,
And Sadie, she's from Stranger Things and Fear Street Part 2.
Most of the time, when we do these films, we go into great plot detail, but since this is a newer release, we'll just tell you guys the synopsis the best that we can, because to go into the full plot detail would be spoiling it for a lot of people out there who might be watching this review. So,
It's gonna be more. We're gonna be trying to do more of a spoiler-free review
for this one,
for this
because it's not something that's been out for a long time. You know, generally, guys, we tend to do the nostalgia type of videos because we tend to.
And oh boy, do we have a good one coming out today as well?
Yeah, but so the synopsis for this one, guys, is that Brendan Fraser plays this man named Charlie who lost the love of his life, and I can only put it as bluntly as possible, I think, and that is Charlie is basically eating himself to death.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're not going to stray away from using words like death this time, because usually we'd be say, oh, he's trying to eat himself to sleep with the fishes or something like that.
But since we're not really going into the great details on this, what we can tell you is that the movie is anchored by the powerful performances given by Mr. Fraser and Mrs. Sink. The two share an on-screen chemistry that quite possibly is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Oh yeah, you could really tell they were like a fractured father-daughter relationship that they had on screen. Like, it was very believable.
Brendan gives this performance that you just got to see it for yourselves. It's like, so it's full of raw emotion and pain and hurt. I feel like he had to dig deep into his into the inner recesses of his soul to pull this out. And I know that it's weird that we would talk like this, and apparently we will address the fact that the movie has been met with some criticism because they used a fat suit with Brendan. But guys, and I'm gonna say I'm not making fun of people when I say this, but the fact remains that okay, where were they going to find a 600-pound actor that could actually move around and do what needed to be done in the film without probably dying? I'm just being blunt. I'm sorry. Normally we wouldn't be like that, but it's the
Brendan
way we
or
kind of have to address this.
Darren
So,
said in the film or in like some interviews and stuff from the film's release, he said Brendan was just a perfect actor. That's all. That's all it
um,
was.
he, like I said, and Mrs. Sink, we cannot discount Mrs. Sink
Oh my
here.
gosh, Sadie was so good in this
She
review.
brings this force of energy and emotion with her as well that you can't help but feel for these two.
Like this is better. This is
Now,
her performance in this movie, guys, is
one
probably
thing
better
is
than.
that
Okay,
there is a slant against organized religion, but it's because that this organized religion was basically a, and I'm going to be as blunt as I can here because it's the only thing I can do. This particular cult that is depicted in this film is nothing more than a straight conversion camp.
actually, it's a doomsday cult.
Well, it's also that too,
Yeah,
though.
but it's a doomsday cult,
Yeah,
guys. Like
but it's also that.
straight up, they're thinking that they're living in the end times and that they
But
have to convert as many people as possible to
oh,
Christ and all
and that
that.
brings up I can't remember the name of the actor, but he's very important too. The missionary that shows up at Charlie's door.
Oh yeah,
You'll be on the lookout for that when you guys watch it. Um, like I said, we can't go into great detail, but it's a powerful movie, and you should watch it. And it's um, because it's a shorter thing, and we're not really having to go into all what we would normally go into. We will say, I will say, Mr. Aronofsky, who directed the film, directed it with such passion and energy, and the film was expertly directed. But okay, if you guys out there have seen Mr. Aronofsky's previous films, then you know that he's no stranger to being able to produce and direct, so to speak, quality films. We're talking about films like Requiem for a Dream, which is, by the way, my all time favorite movie. And someday we might do a review of that one. And that's a hard one to do, too. Uh, and other ones like The Wrestler and Black Swan. And so you know that he's got a reputation for a quality story and a quality picture. And it's basically filmed in just one apartment, guys.
yeah.
The whole movie basically takes place in one apartment. And more often than not, about 80 to 85% of it is actually just in his living room.
hmm
But it's okay. It's definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. What say you?
Definitely a 5 out of 5. Brendan's performance, Sadie's performance, the filmmaking, the metaphor in the film. If you catch it, if you when you watch the film, you'll get that there's also a metaphor inside the film, but we can't really go into great detail about that either
Yeah,
without
that
getting
would
into
be
spoiler
that
territory.
exactly. So we'll just leave it at that. We told you guys, we gave you a brief synopsis, and
Sorry guys, I'm still trying to recover from a cold if I
so
sound a little sickly.
we've got some other things that we've got going on, guys. A couple of quick announcements. First and foremost, next month in January is the beginning of our war movie month. We're going to be tackling various war movies. And then after that, it's going to be some disaster movies in February. And we'll have a big Valentine's Day type of special around that time as well.
Titanic?
Possibly, probably. Uh, as much as I'm dreading that one, actually, because it's so dang long.
Actually, I think we should do like a
And
compare and contrast of Titanic, Dad.
Yeah,
Good
we
night to
have talked
remember.
about doing that, some more of that kind of stuff. Um, also, uh, very soon we're going to be doing a special unboxing video for you guys. And
Like
so,
right after this video.
yeah, pretty much. Not sure when that one will come out, but yeah, we're going to do it pretty much right after this one. So be on the lookout for that. And other than that, we'll give you guys an announcement video on our upcoming schedule of stuff that's going to be coming out. And we'll try our best to adhere to it as best as we can. But that's not always a possibility. But those of you guys who've been along for the ride understand that. So you know that we're just kind of a weekend warrior type of film critic, video games, and all that other stuff that we do. Comic books, y'all know the gist. Oh, I will say that we'll also have some comic book related stuff coming out in the near future too, because we're gonna get back into some of that for you guys. So before I start to lose my voice, because I'm kind of suffering the same way he is.
Oh
Um,
no.
Until next time, there's only one thing left to say, and that, of course, is peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.